versus Debre. We're going to be getting straight into it as it's already started.
Debre just a little bit ahead, but still very similar scores for both players. Both strong moving players, but I would say Debre is definitely the more experienced of the two when it comes to moving, so definitely would give him the edge in this first game. See if Kent can pull off an upset.
Could be doable. You've got some time to do it. Round 6. 3.5 times damage is what we're hopping in on. And Debre's in Valencia. Kent opening the map just now. He's going Madrid. I wonder if Debre saw something for Valencia.
He may have.
He may have. Because that's a great guess. It's 1900 health down to Kent's health bar. Debre sitting nice still. And he's still got that NMPC hat on, as always. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Matching
his avatar.
Yeah, of course. When
I
is
don't
he
know
gonna
where
show up in the ghost
cloak is.
fit?
Yeah, exactly. And the glowing eyes.
Maybe one day. Maybe
One
the
day.
last day of the World League, he'll show up with that in real life.
Surely. Pull up to the World Cup in a cloak.
Yeah. Round 7. Both players are going to know this is Kenya. Both guessing pretty central, so we shouldn't see too many points here. It's going to be much farther west. Debre's a little bit closer again, chipping away some more points. That's 1100 down with the multiplier. Going on to round 8. Kent's not sitting in a great spot.
Yeah, Debre's so hard to beat. I mean, his win rate, he has more than 2 points per match so far. He's been one of the strongest players in the entire league. So, especially in moving, you know, Kent is definitely more experienced in the other two modes. This is going to be a tough one to win for him. Yeah, but Ceuta, I really don't mind that.
Wow.
So we have water to the north
I like it.
and Spanish infrastructure. I really like the guess from Debre here.
Wow, Kent's kind of going on one of these islands here. Palma.
Also possible.
Wow, but Debre is going to be right on it. 4996 will win him the game on round 8. What an amazing call there from Debre. Getting that little Spanish enclave.
Yeah, really, really well done. The Spanish exclaves of Ceuta and Melilla, they have pretty distinct coverage. If you've seen them a few times, you kind of get used to the way they look, but some locations there can really just look like the rest of Spain. So Debre did a really nice job kind of identifying it, seeing that the coast was north, and he made an awesome guess there.
He did. I did say enclave instead of exclave.
Ah, well, the difference is pretty pretty. There's not too much of a difference between those two words, to be fair. So
True. Round 1 on the no move. Let's go to Kent. 77 to start us off.
yeah, so Kent definitely feeling the pressure. He's one of the lowest ranked players so far in the league. He's definitely outside of the regionals qualification spots right now. So in the last 7 or so weeks, he definitely needs to pick it up if he wants to get top 6 in Asia Pacific again. He's got a lot of time to do that. He's definitely still capable of pulling it off, but things definitely have to go well for him from now on. So every game matters for Kent.
Yeah, early on in this league, we would talk a lot about, well, it's early, we'll see how this ends up shaking out, yada yada, but now we're deep in this. Things are really shaking out, and every game is starting to become really important, especially if you're lower on that leaderboard. So Kent's gonna want some points here. We'll see if he can do it. Round 2 is gonna be in the US. Debre thinking Ohio. Kent also there in Ohio, but southern. Farther south than Debre is. The guesses will come in, though, both in Ohio. We shouldn't see too many points. Wow, gonna be down there in northern Tennessee. Kent's a little closer with that guess. 1,000 points of damage. We're gonna go to round 3 now. Kent holding flawless.
Kent, I think, probably expected to lose the moving game against a player like Debre, but he's not out of this. He feels more comfortable now that he's playing no move. And again, every single game matters for him. He really doesn't want to lose this 2-0 because he doesn't have a lot of breathing room left down near the bottom of the table. Debre too. I mean, this is an important match for him as well. He has a really high win rate so far, but if you want to be comfortable and qualify for that World Cup without necessarily having to rely on your performance at regionals, you're going to want to finish very, very high in the table. And he currently is, but that doesn't mean that he'll necessarily stay there.
Yeah, we'll see. Round 3, we're on Brazil now. Debre and Mato Grosso, and Kent is there too. Again, similar guesses from both these players on all these rounds so far. This time, once again, Kent will be a little bit closer, chipping away more and more damage. Debre is actually on 4k health now, and we're only going into round 4.
Yep, Kent has won all 3 rounds so far, which is definitely a contrast to what we saw in the moving game. Here we have Southern Argentina. Looks like Kent. Average score in Argentina is 4,500. That's really impressive, honestly.
That is.
For quite a large country. We see very low, sort of bushy vegetation. The less vegetation you see, the more south you're generally going to be. Debre actually switching to Tierra del Fuego here. I'll admit that wasn't my first thought. I thought more towards Santa Cruz, where Kent currently is, but Debre goes for Tierra del Fuego. I mean,
Wow.
He certainly could be right.
That's definitely possible, but this should be some big points. It's going to be Kent again closer, holding the flawless going into round 5. Not only that, dealing 2,800 points of damage. Jake, we might get an NPZ here. Kent is flawlessing.
Yeah, Kent has been fantastic so far in this game.
And we're in Japan.
Kent also stronger, as you can see from that score prediction. Also stronger, no move in Japan. Makes sense. Bit of home field advantage for him. Debre just looking to survive, maybe get it to a larger country. One of the next few rounds. Both players similar guesses here in Tohoku in the north of Honshu, but both just thinking this is not an easy round. They probably are basing the guesses off the transformers, the infrastructure that they see, the guy wires all look relatively northern. I think both players will probably survive here.
I think they will survive, but that's going to be another hit. 651 points. Debre really down there in the health. 558 health to Kent's flawless right now. Round 6, 3.5 times damage now.
Another Japan.
Another one.
I don't think that sign in the distance is legible. I mean, we can see Psyche, All Sports Park, but I don't know what that is. The players can look at the pole tops, they can look at the plates, any other sort of infrastructure they can see to try and at least narrow down the region. But again, Debre is on the ropes here. He needs to be closer if he wants to survive, or, you know, at the very least, the same distance away. And currently in Kyushu, which I like that. The pole top with the sort of 2 holes in it that sticks out towards the top. Hard to see what I'm talking about when it's not on the screen, but it did kind of look like a Kyushu pole top to me, so I don't mind Kent's guess, but now he's hedging in the water. Debre's a bit more east, so this could end the game. Yep.
Wow, yeah, it looks like it will. Kent looks so relieved on that as he flawlesses Debre in the no move, taking us to NMPZ. Wow.
Wow. What a performance from Kent there, and it's exactly what he needed. Again, every game counts for him, so that's a huge, huge victory, and to do it with a flawless, no less, really, really impressive. We will see if he can keep the momentum up, and if he can take the match against Debre.
Yeah, this could be interesting if he does. He really does need those points, as you're mentioning, so this is important for him. He's secured at least 1, which is more important for Kent right now, where he is on that leaderboard. But in round 1, Debre is finally gonna fight back and deal some damage after not dealing any in the entire no-move game.
According to the stats I have in front of me, Kent has won 5 out of 5 in NMPZ. I don't think he's lost one yet, which is actually crazy.
That is crazy.
Debre is 2 out of 3. So neither player has played that much in NPZ, but Kent has won every single match that he's played. The craziest thing is that Kent's guesses, his rate of guesses over 4,500 points in NPZ is only 19%, which is one of the lowest in the league, and yet somehow he's won 5 out of 5. That's a crazy contrast.
That is a crazy contrast.
Wow.
Wow, just equidistant in between them on round 2 in Japan. 12 points of damage. Not much at all. Round 3 now. This is a hard one. Again, NMPZ, no moving, panning, or zooming. This is the image we get. And this is a hard one. Forest, dirt road.
Yep. Yeah, my first thought here was maybe something like Russia or the Baltics. I do like the Russia guess.
Wow.
Kent
Russia
is in
and Canada.
I could see Canada too. I really could.
I could as well. But this could be the game. We do have 2 times multiplier. One of them's right on it. We're done.
It's really hard to see the pole in the distance. It's hard to tell if it's like more of a Soviet pole or more of a North American pole, but I mean, this is going to be the difference. I think one of the players is probably going to take the game right here.
I think so. He's locking it in. Ken, are you going to keep it in Canada? We will get the game if you do. Look, he's considering moving. Oh, he's considering moving it over. No, but he's not. He's going to keep it in Canada.
It's Buryatia. Oh, my.
Russia.
What?
Wow. Neither player on it. But Debre, the only one in the correct country, but Russia is just so big.
What is that location? That was Buryatia. That's crazy. I never would have clicked there in Russia.
Yeah,
like,
no,
if I'm clicking
neither.
Russia, I'm not clicking there.
That
wow.
is such a weird location for where it actually was. We do go on to round 4 now. Debre, thinking Mexico.
He's gonna go downtown. I love it.
Downtown Mexico City. That is so good.
Kent's zoomed on Cuba right now, although I imagine he'll probably go Mexico. Maybe. We'll see. Yep, he's not showing us much, but he's going a good deal more southeast, and it's just max west. Mexico City hedge, undefeated.
Undefeated. It's the classic. The CDMX hedge always pays off. Debre now flawlessing on the NMPZ. I mean, what a way for it to come back after that no-move performance from Kent.
Yep. What a turnaround. But as the multis get higher and higher, things just get more and more random. This is sort of unusual.
I really like where Debre is guessing. I've seen a lot of coverage that looks like this just in the Alps here.
Yeah, we have those little, like, rock, almost barrier things down there, which I see a lot of those in Bhutan, but I feel like you don't see a lot of them in Europe, so...
Yeah, that's true.
It's sort of an interesting one, but I don't mind the Alps guess. I mean, the mountains are clearly quite tall, so both players probably going to opt for that.
Wow, Debre was right there first and actually moved it to Austria. I would have really liked that guess if he kept it there, but he did not in the end. We move on to round 6 now. 3.5 times damage. Debre thinking Mendoza Province, Argentina.
I don't mind him. I also really don't mind La Rioja. I like that guess a lot too. Somewhere in this western area of Argentina, maybe close to the Andes, but not right at them.
Yeah, you do have some mountains west there that you can see.
I was just scrolling through the stats, and I mentioned that Kent, only 19% of his guesses have been above 4,500 points in NMPZ. There's only one player with a lower percentage, and it's Amarain, and he's won 1 game out of 8 in NMPZ, and Kent has won 5 out of 5. I don't even know how that works. I think
crazy.
If there was a luck factor when it comes to NMPZ, I think Kent's would probably be pretty high. Not to say he's, again, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be winning the games that he's winning, but it's kind of crazy how that shakes out.
Yeah, definitely. Round 6 here, both players gonna be pretty close. Kent's gonna continue to deal just a little bit of damage chipping away. But yeah, it is quite interesting to look at it statistically like that. See how it's actually been playing out. Going around 7 now, 4 times damage. Debre feels very confident in Massachusetts, but possibly just moved it into Canada.
Yeah, hard to say. That sign next to the fire hydrant is weird. I don't know what that is, but it looks odd to me. It almost makes me want to say that it's Canada, because I don't know if I've seen a sign like that in the US, but really tough to say.
Yeah, I think I like the Canada shout here too. I like kind of Quebec, Ontario. Those feel like good options to me as well. And he locks it in, so Kent's got to follow here, and he's still in the US. He's going to keep it there. It will be Quebec. Debre with 4 times damage is going to deal 2,200. Kent is still alive, but on just less than 300 health.
Can Kent keep perfect NMPZ win rate intact? We are in Australia. His average score is a lot higher in Australia than Debre's. I don't know how large the sample size is, but maybe this could be Kent's opportunity.
Yeah, Kent thinking near Perth. Debre right there too, but a little north of it. But pretty close guesses nonetheless, so...
Well, that could do it, though.
Oh, wow, that actually could do it. With the 4.5 times damage, it will, and Debre finally, in the end, takes it on NMPZ.
Wow. So Kent's first loss in an NMPZ game of the entire World League. Very impressive performance from Debre after